Good morning, everyone. We will now begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama to protect and bless us as we participate today in the construction of paradise on earth. Amatsu-Norito and Miroku Prayer, please stand. 高天原にかむずまります。かむろきかむろみのみこともちて、すめりおやかむいさなぎのみことをつくしのりむかの立ち花のほどのあぎ花に、みそぎ払いたもうときになりませる。海道の狼たちもろもろのまがごと積み汚れを払いたまえ清めたまえとまおすことのよしよ天津神国津神やおよろずの神たちともに雨の淵駒の実振り立ててきこしめせとかしごみかしごみむまおす弥勒おみかみ守りたまえ先はえたまえ弥勒おみかみ守りたまえ先はえたまえ教えみよや主の神守りたまえ先はえたまえ教えみよや主の神守りたまえ先はえたまえかんながらたまちはえませ。かんながらたまちはえませ。Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated. We will now receive Group Johrei.
Obrigado, Meishu-sama. Bless you.
Johrei is now concluded. We will now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teachings. Our sacred grounds. I have constructed this prototype of paradise as a place of rest and tranquility for the world's weary ones. Once the divine light of God spreads and permeates the whole world, all humanity will be given new life. I wish to invite all those who are suffering to this paradise. Come and stay, even if for a little while. The need for people to be provided with quality entertainment and recreation has long been recognized. Nonetheless, in today's society, too much of it is of vulgar, unrefined nature. While theater, movies, sports, board games, and other games of skill, of course, can be acceptable, even beneficial as such, I believe that entertainment and recreation on still higher levels is especially important. In light of this, I think the prototypes of paradise on earth, which we are constructing in Hakone and Atami, will satisfactorily fill the need. They will be ideal paradises in which natural beauty and man-made beauty are combined. Thus, once people visit these beautiful places, their hearts and minds, which have been soiled by the low vibrations of the materialistic world, will be cleansed. Their spiritual beings, which have become almost completely dried up, will be refreshed, their lives renewed and spirit invigorated. As a result, they will not only be able to do their work more efficiently, but their moral sense will naturally be elevated as well. The contribution that these miniature paradises can make towards the betterment of one's mind will be, I believe, of no ordinary degree.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this morning service of the Miroku Association. When Meishu-sama states in this teaching today that I wish to invite all those who are suffering to this paradise, and I have constructed this prototype of paradise as a place of rest and tranquility for the world's weary ones. Meishu-sama was not referring to this is a place for members only. That's the whole purpose of creating a prototype of a paradise so all can enjoy. Of course, if you are a member, you may appreciate the fact that each sacred ground will have a temple. We are going to to have services, but there are also these incredible gardens. And as we have stated before, what makes a place sacred? We have Hakone, Atami, Kyoto, Guarapiranga, Saraburi, and Kakwaku in Africa that is still under construction. So what makes these places special is the love and dedication of many, many people. They have given their donations, and they have contributed also with labor and their participation. For instance, when we have groups from the United States and Canada that visit either Japan, Brazil, Thailand, to go to these places, it is a long flight, right? It's a long trip, the expenses involved. So when we go after all that combined effort, so many have to negotiate with their employers or their families for the time that they will be away, sometimes 10 days, 12 days. So there is all that kind of effort involved. So when we then visit these sacred grounds with that baggage, that means with that accumulated effort, what we feel and experience is really meaningful. Sometimes those who are privileged to be living close to a sacred grounds, and I can testify from my own experience of two particular places where I have visited more times than the other sacred grounds, which is Atami, Japan, and Guarapiranga in Brazil. So those, for instance, that live in the surroundings of the Atami sacred grounds have the opportunity to get there whenever they want, because they live nearby. Same for those who reside in the city of São Paulo, Brazil. They are near Guarapiranga sacred grounds. They can go many times. Of course, with the restrictions of the pandemic and whatnot, so visitation has been more limited in the past year and a half, 2 years. But in normal times, those who live in these areas can go more often. Unlike, let's say, if we are going to visit either Japan or Brazil from here, from the United States or Canada, again, all that effort, when we go there, we feel so emotional, and there is lots of faith experience involved. And then those who do live in these towns and cities, they may wonder, oh, why these people are being so emotional. Okay, we recognize that the sacred ground is powerful, is beautiful, but I believe that because of that effort, the dedication, then what people experience may be in a different level altogether. We heard many stories, for instance, from Brazil of those who traveled from the north of Brazil in times when air travel not just was difficult, it is very expensive. Some Brazilians testify it is cheaper for them to travel to Miami, Florida from Brazil than domestically. These flights can be very expensive, so people would take buses. They go from the Johrei centers, they charter buses, and they go for 3 days. It's a 3 days trip. So they go for 3 days, traveling as a group in a bus. Then they go to the sacred grounds to attend the service, spend just a few hours, and then they have another 3 days to go back. It's almost 1 week they have to take the time off. But by the time they are arriving at the sacred grounds, they are feeling so great, so emotional, and we believe also these are the emotions and joys of the ancestors that encourage their descendants. Go, my son, go, my daughter, because that will not just be a benefit for you, but for all the ancestors as well. So this is why we have these prototypes of paradise, because of the energy. If we compare with beautiful parks around the world, Just here in New York, we have Central Park, we have Botanical Garden in the Bronx, we have Botanical Garden in Brooklyn, in Queens, in California. I have visited the Getty Museum, not just the museum itself, the surroundings is incredible. But what makes our sacred grounds so special is this spiritual vibration. Those who don't believe in spirituality, don't believe in God and whatnot, they admit once they visit these places, they feel something that they can't explain. It's something so powerful and special. Today, I would like to share this faith experience. It's from Antonio Nunes. He's from Mato Grosso, Brazil. Antonio is 46 years old and he has been a member for 2 years and lives with his son, who is also a member. Antonio has been working for 18 years as a freelance salesperson in the magnetic mattress business. With the onset of the pandemic, he had practically no customers, which led to a financial purification. At the same time, the fear of coronavirus contamination made him panic. He practically did not leave his home and kept doing our practice of faith at home. In late July 2020, Antonio received a call from a missionary inviting him and his son to volunteer as the church was partially returning to function. Antonio and son felt an immense joy. On the first day, Antonio received Johrei from the minister and talked to her about his financial purification, as he had been out of work for over 90 days due to lack of clients and his fear about the pandemic. The minister guided him to do his best to channel 10 Johrei a day and to offer donations of gratitude in whatever way he could in order to gain spiritual strength to overcome his purification. Since the number of volunteers at the center was reduced due to the restrictive measures, he made a commitment to dedicate every morning from Monday through Saturday. In addition, he began making small flower arrangements, the mini bana, to distribute to neighbors in the condominium where he lives, and he offered them Johrei, respecting the rules of social distance. Many people accepted to receive Johrei from him, and he began to follow up on them through religious assistance. In this way, Antonio was able to channel more than 10 Johrei a day. Antonio rebalanced himself emotionally, and with that, he was able to return to work at the end of July. He soon managed to make his first sale. He was very happy and offered a special monetary donation of gratitude. This client from the sale he talked about referred Antonio to several acquaintances, which enabled him to carry out several deals. When he visited the clients, Antonio also talked about Meishu-sama, channeled Johrei to them, and invited them to the Johrei Center. In this way, Antonio began to assist many people, and he was blessed to guide 8 of them to become Johrei members. His business results showed a massive increase. He was recognized as the best salesperson of the company he represented and was awarded with a significant monetary bonus. At all of these times, he materialized the donation of gratitude with great happiness. His business continued to grow, and this year he opened a distribution company, which has been achieving great results. Observing the countless miracles that have occurred in his life and in the lives of the people he had the opportunity to follow up, Antonio's faith was strengthened, and every day he feels more grateful to God and Meishu-sama. For this reason, he now reinforces his commitment to continue serving the divine work with the goal of guiding the greatest number of people to this path of salvation. These are the words I would like to share with you today. We wish you a very wonderful day, also wonderful weekend. Thank you very much.
This brings to a conclusion of our morning service. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and have a blessed day.